Namandam, 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 namandam.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Eitaikyo Perpetual Memorial Service. I'm Reverend Harry Bridge. I'm the officiant and also chairperson for today's service. I put the kanji there at the bottom, Eitaikyo. So this, Eitai means perpetual or eternity, and Kyo is sutra, like Amida Kyo or Muryoji Kyo, right? So this is a service ensuring that we can chant the sutras here at the Buddhist Church of Oakland for eternity. So it's a wonderful service. We have our scrolls here set up by Reverend Endo. We have our guest speaker today, so really looking forward to today's service. But let's begin with sutra chanting. We will chant Ju Sei Ge. And look at the program that lists, okay,
Weird. Why not? 1, 2, and 2.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Hold on.
Check, check, check. Can you hear me out on the internet? Check, check, check. Yes? Oh, working now. Okay, I don't know what happened.
So for those of you in person, you can see all the page numbers on the program for Tuesday day.
Namandam, 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 namandam. The embodiment of wisdom and compassion, to observe the Buddhist Church of Oakland's annual Eitaikyo service. Eitaikyo assures the perpetual chanting of the sutras, remembering our pioneering ancestors, enabling the Buddhist Church of Oakland to continue to nurture and comfort its Sangha and to spread the Buddha Dharma to those in need. Jin Shonen Joe Shibongyo Shigum Jodo Ishoten Ninshi Jinniki Endaiko Fushome Saido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kai Hichi Egen Meshikon Moan Hei Sokusho Hakudo Tsudatsu Zen Shumon Koso Jomanzok Iyoro Jippo Nichigap Shijuki Tenko Ompugen Ishikai Hozo Koseku Dokuho Jodai Shichi Seppo Shishiku Kuyoi Saibutsu Gusoku Shitokuhon Ganeshitsu Joman Toku Isangai O Nyobutsu Mugechi Tsudatsu Mifusho Gangaku Erik Toshi Sai Shoson Shiganya Koka Daisen Okando Koku Shotenin Touchin Myoke next, let's recite the three treasures, which is on, oh, yeah, we'll do three treasures first, and then we'll do the Gatha. How about that? So three treasures on page 3 in the small purple book. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not live ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we should be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Okay, now let's sing Gatha Shinshu Anthem. It's in the blue folder. This is the English version of Shinshu Shuka, and you're going to have to sing it out loud, sing it out strong, because I won't be singing because I need to figure out what's going on with the PA system. So, take it away, Steve. Okay, we're almost there.
while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a joke. You know when Japanese people started eating eggs? It was a long time ago. Get it? That stinky rotten egg joke, huh? You can hear me there? Online, Robert? Okay, good. All right, we're back. We're up and running, and so, I think I'm doing the right thing, right? Introduction of guest speaker, yes. We're very fortunate today to have guest speaker, Reverend Gerald Sakamoto, he is Rimban of the Buddhist Church of San Jose, Betsuin. So we have some special churches and temples, one per district. It's called Betsuin, and they're generally usually the biggest temple in the district. And so San Jose is a coast district. You would think it would just be Bay District, right? It's Bay Area, but they're in a different district called Coast District. And so, let me tell you a little bit of Sensei's history. He was originally in Honolulu, and they're in a totally different district. That's not even BCA. It's Hawaii Honganji. But in 1976, he came to BCA. And guess what his first temple was? Here, Oakland. Yeah, he's back. So 1976 to 1979, he was here. Then he went to White River, which is near Seattle, Northwest District. And then he went to San Jose, 1986. It's getting close to 40 years ago. And I'm using the old paper from 1999 from the BCA Centennial book, and it says San Jose 1986 to current, and it's still true. Right? Even after 20, 30 years after the Centennial, right? But now in 2018, he became the Rimban. And Rimban means the head of that special temple, head of the Betsuin. His wife Kathy, he lives with her in San Jose, and some of his hobbies include he's into technology. I love technology, and so does he. And then also shakuhachi. He plays the shakuhachi. So I didn't know that, so we're going to have to hook him up with Brian after the service. But we're very fortunate to have him, so let's open our ears and open our hearts. Really? How about the chanting? Nothing? Oh, it's totally this one. Right. This is not working. Oh, no. Okay. Well, but the chanting mic works. Okay. Can you hold on a second?
Absolutely.
Give me a second, and we'll move the microphone. Let's see. I have to do this part all over again. I blame gremlins.
Might be Mitsuru.
Oh, no, Mitsuru would make it work. Mitsuru, I'll put it together.
I was hearing stories from John earlier. Okay, online monitors, can you hear me? Should we go out to listen, maybe? Yeah, why don't we just go ahead. You can hear me? No. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing? No. Well, I
think we're going to have to call the stream a wash. Apologies everyone online, but why don't we, let's go with our Dharma Talk for people in person. So you get special, exclusive, in person only. Apologies everyone online, but let's have our Dharma message from Reverend Gerald Sakamoto, Rimban, and let's open our hearts and open our ears as we listen to the Dharma.
Okay, there you go.
The following is from the Matosho, letters, collected letters of Shinran, and this is from the second letter in this collection, and this is just a paragraph from this letter. In this, Shinran writes, through the fulfillment of the 18th primal vow, Bodhisattva Dharmakara has become Amida Tathagata, and the benefit that surpasses conceptual understanding has come to transcend all bounds. To express this, Bodhisattva Vasubandhu uses the words, the Tathagata of unhindered light filling the 10 quarters. Truly know, therefore, that without any differentiation between good and bad people, and regardless of one's having a heart of blind passion, all beings are certain to attain birth.
Dhamma. Dhamma. Dhamma.
Good morning. It is good to see you, good to be back. I can't remember the last time I was here. I think it might have been for a funeral service, maybe, that I was invited to participate in. But it's been a long time, and it is very nice to be back again. As in the introduction, I grew up in Hawaii, and I left the Hawaii Kildan for a very short time, and came here to the mainland. And I was wandering around. I was kind of sofa surfing. So you go from one sofa to the next sofa to the next one. And I was living with Shinseki Sensei for a little while. I was living with Hamada Sensei for a little while. And went down south and was with Ito Sensei, who is Higashi Sensei in Los Angeles, and we were there for a little while. And then I got a call from Tsuji Sensei. So he kind of found me wandering around the streets of San Francisco and said, come here. I said, okay, so what do you plan to do? I said, well, I don't know, maybe I'll go study. A friend of mine is in Australia, and he has some property there. He's growing sorghum, and he said, come down to Australia. So I said, well, maybe I'll go to Davis, study agriculture for a little bit, and then go down to Australia. He said, okay, so if that's your plan, you can do that. But in the meantime, why don't you go work at Oakland Buddhist Temple? That's how I got here. I was a part-time minister, and I was supposed to be taking classes. I think I took maybe one class at IBS. Maybe not. But I was kind of, so I was here for 3 years, and I lived in the corner apartment for a little bit, and then we transferred to an apartment out on Haddon Lane, I think is the name of the street, on the other side of Lake Merritt. My mom, came to visit us would come to visit every once in a while, and she was a flowering arrangement instructor, and so she would bring flowers with her and things like that. And but in Hawaii, although we think of it as a melting pot, it is a diverse community, but it's kind of separated. So the Japanese population was kind of with the Japanese population, and all the local people were Japanese people were part of the local population, but when she arrived in Oakland, she was surprised by the diversity of the community. And I thought, this is Oakland. So we drove around Lake Merritt on a Sunday, and she was really surprised to see the people out in the park and enjoying themselves in the park. And this was again back in the 70s, so it was kind of a different time. But certainly wonderful memories here in Oakland. One of the memories that I have, particular to this temple, now I mentioned Mitsuru, and it was a Sunday morning, and I was, Taniguchi Sensei was here at that time. Taniguchi Sensei and Okusan were here as a resident ministers, and I served under them. And Taniguchi Sensei had gone to speak somewhere else, so I was responsible for the Sunday morning services. And I was at my apartment, and I received a call from Mitsuru. Mitsuru said, "Sensei, are you coming?" I said, yeah, don't worry, I'll be there. And a few minutes later, Mitsuru called again and said, "Sensei, are you coming?" I said, "Yeah, I'm coming, don't worry, wait, and I'll be there." And then finally Mitsuru called again and said, "Hurry up, come down." Okay, so I was ready to go, so I came over to the temple. And by the time I arrived, everybody had left. So what happened, Mitsuru? How come everybody's gone? How come nobody here? Well, because Okusan had to do the service. So why did Okusan have to do the service? We had shifted daylight savings time. There's no daylight savings time in Hawaii. Who made that decision? And so I showed up an hour late. That's why everybody was gone. Everybody had gone home. But that's my story of Mitsuru. I was talking with John earlier, and John was saying, Mitsuru walks the halls of the temple yet today. And he passed away, in 1993? Was that what it was? But wonderful memories of here, of this temple. Spent 3 years here, 76 to 79, and then we went to the White River Buddhist Temple. I've been now at the San Jose Betsuin for a while, although I now have the title of Rimban. Rimban literally means, you're the caretaker of the bell. I'm a placeholder, basically, for the Gomonshu. So when the Gomonshu shows up, that's his seat that I'm warming, and making sure that it's clean and that things are functional, so that when he can come, he'll have a place to sit. That's my role as the Rimban, to make sure that it keeps working until the Monshu is able to visit. Today, we are observing this Eitaikyo service, the perpetual reading of sutras. And the reason we do that, the reason we have this service, is to allow us to hear the teachings of the Buddha. We think about doing the things now today, and many temples have an Eitaikyo a fund set aside for the use of the hondo. If their hondo needs repair, if you need to have something replaced in the onaijin, then this Eitaikyo fund can be used for that purpose. That will assure that the temple will continue to be available to people in the future. That's why we have these fundraisers around Eitaikyo. But we also have to remember that we are the recipients of the work of others. That people before us who held Eitaikyo services collected funds for their Eitaikyo fund. Those are the funds that we are able to enjoy today. And that we are the beneficiaries of the work and the concern and the thoughts of those who lived before us. And so we were able to enjoy being here in the Hondo, here at the Oakland Buddhist Temple. So we kind of have a tendency to think of what I'm doing now is going to help people in the future. But we also have to remember that people, that I'm enjoying the results of what others have done in the past, that their work now allows me to enjoy being present and to hear the teachings of the Buddha here in this Hondo today. The teachings of the Buddha are really very simple. It's about how do we resolve the difficulties we cause and experience. And Buddhism suggests that these difficulties result from how we have a tendency to see the world through my preferences, my likes and dislikes. So I like, chocolate ice cream, and you like vanilla. And so we get into an argument, which one is better? It doesn't really matter, which one is better. I have my preferences, you have your preferences. And if I only think in chocolate, then I'm going to have problems. If I only think about what I want, or what I need, or what I think is important, other ways of thinking about this is going to cause problems. Chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, although it's nice to think about at night, it's not the most important thing that's happening in the world. There are other things that are happening, that the difficulties that we see out in the world result from our inability to, or our tendency to see things as they are. That we see things again through our preferences, our likes and dislikes, our preferences. And so we have, when you think about all the headlines that we see in our news today, there's certainly a great deal, many challenges that we are faced with. And that these challenges, everything from the war in the Middle East to ecology, to the differences that occur in our temples, result from our tendency to see the world through our perspective, through our preferences, our likes and dislikes. And so Buddhism is simply about acknowledging that, recognizing that at first, and then beginning to move towards softening the boundaries that separate us so that we can begin to hear the other person. When we listen with our ears, and we hear the words, but we process those words and we think about those words through what I know. And if what I know is all that there was, it'll be okay. But there are ways of understanding what I hear. They may be different. I am red-green colorblind. So being red, and I know there are others in this room who are red-green colorblind. You may not recognize that, but I think it's 20% of males are red-green colorblind. So there must be maybe at least 2 other people in this room who are red-green colorblind. I used to think it was my father that was responsible for this colorblindness, but actually it's my mom. So all these years, all those many years, I've been thinking, my father is my father's responsibility. He is because of him that I'm colorblind. Colorblindness is really interesting. Well, maybe if you're not colorblind, you probably go, what color is this? My wife did that for the longest time. She said, what color is this? What color is this? Because she can see all these colors, and she was fascinated by the fact that I couldn't distinguish between reds and greens. You may wonder, how do I drive? Yeah, think about it. The next time you see me coming out the driveway, better be. So, if I'm coming down the hill is really the only time that I'm a little, you should be concerned. coming down a hill to a signaled intersection, if the light is green, that's okay, right? But if the light is green, I may not recognize a signaled intersection because a green light looks almost like a white regular street light. Ugh, scary, huh? This guy's coming down a hill full speed, not knowing what he's approaching. So suddenly, this green light turns yellow. Whoa, gotta stop, slow down. Yeah. It's not that bad. You get used to it. So I'm red-green colorblind. How I view the world is quite different from others. Not for the other 20% of males in the room, because you're colorblind as well. But how I perceive what is there is different. No matter how many times somebody might tell me, "You can't see this?" I said, "No, I cannot." It's just physically impossible for me to see what that is. I see color contextually. So if I look at, like this, the railing around on the Rimban, I can tell that that's red because it's a context, it's red. I've learned that that color is red. If you put dark green in place of that, I would not be able to tell. And he doesn't know. He doesn't know what color that is. Well, so if I insist that that color is not red, doesn't make any sense. Right? How I perceive that is how I perceive it. It may not be what is there. And so if I insist that that which I'm perceiving is there when it's not there, then it's going to be problems. But that's not just true of red and green or other colors. I see kind of blues kind of move into other colors. Browns kind of move into the greenish area of the world, and it gets very muddled. And I love art. Since when I first arrived here in Oakland, one of the first exhibits that I went to was at the Oakland Museum, and there was this wonderful, I think of it as a yellow cow painting. What was his name? I forget who the artist is now. But it's of this yellow cow, in this forest. And it was there. And I saw, it was beautiful. Just all of these vibrant colors of this artist. But I love art. And so my images, if I use color, it's kind of weird sometimes. But I figure that's the way I perceive this. And it is my appreciation of what I'm seeing. But if I insist that that is a reflection of what is real, then it's not going to work. If I insist that these trees which I'm drawing or coloring in this way, painting in this way, are the way that trees are in reality, then it's going to be a problem. Our perceptions can guide us, guide our actions, guide our activities. But how we perceive the world is how I perceive the world. And it may be in direct contradiction to the way another perceives the world, sees the world. And until I can begin to acknowledge that, there's going to be difficulties. The difficulties that are described in the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths are central to the teachings of the Buddha. They are the base. They are what is at the core. We experience difficulties. That's the first of the Four Noble Truths. We experience these difficulties, and they may be result from, may have to do with what I want or what I don't want, what I like and what I don't like. So that's the second of the Four Noble Truths, that these difficulties result from our tendency to see the world through what I like and what I don't like. And the third of the Four Noble Truths is that we don't have to remain like that, and that we are able to resolve those difficulties. And the means to resolve those difficulties is the fourth of the Four Noble Truths, which is the Eightfold Path. If we are able to practice, fulfill the Eightfold Path, then we are able to resolve these difficulties. But what if we can't do that? What if we can't always have right mindfulness? What if we can't always do the right thing, right livelihood, live a way that is correct and appropriate? What if we are unable to do that? What if we have inconsistencies in our lives? We fall short. We're unable to be consistent and thoroughgoing in our behavior and our actions that we reflect the teachings of the Buddha. What happens then? That's where the Nembutsu becomes important. And I think, and some might disagree with me, but I think when Shinran left Hiezan, he realized his own shortcomings, his own limitations, the inability to perfect those practices that would lead to enlightenment. And so he came down. He saw around him as well those inconsistencies. He lived in a very difficult time. When was Shinran born? Do you remember? 1173? Two, somewhere around there. 3, okay. I have it from an authority, 1173. Right around that time, when he was born, and he entered Hiezan, he became a monk when he was 9? So, 1173, 1182-ish, right? He was 9, 1182-ish. In 1181, the Genpei War broke out in Kyoto. And Kyoto was a seat of the imperial household. And the two clans that had been kind of vying for power for a long time, finally that broke out into war, actual warfare in the streets of Kyoto. And so while Shinran was up on Hiezan, this battle was raging across the streets of Kyoto into Uji, Byodoin. And there was a famous battle there. Shinran's life was not all kind of, lovely, pastoral. He lived in a very hard time. There was 2 famines that occurred in his kind of lifetime. And one of those occurred right in the middle of this war, 1181 to 1185. The war was brought to a halt, and I think in 1183, because the famine was so deep, they could not supply their soldiers, nor could they find enough recruits to fight that war. It's in that kind of society or place that Shinran lived, time in history that Shinran lived. Very harsh, very difficult. And as he was seeing this take place around him, and it's not until several years later that when he leaves Hiezan, I think he understands his own limitations and the limitations of the world in which he lived to resolve those difficulties. But he found in what he learned from Honen that we are able to resolve those difficulties through the vow of Amida Buddha. In this passage which I read, and let me kind of go through this quickly again, my eyes are getting really bad. I think optometrist said maybe got to get cataract surgery next year because the contrast is kind of getting a little bad. So rather than holding like this, I have to go like this. Otherwise I can't see. Well, it's really bad when, I shouldn't, okay. So when we do soshiki, so funeral services, I stand in front of the onaijin and we do homyo juyo. And the lighting is really bad, so I can't see. I have to get I'm hoping that the new Satan that is being prepared, the Satan is our service book for ministers, that there will be a Reader's Digest version of it with large text so that I can see what I'm reading. Anyway, that's an aside. Never mind. So this is what Shinran writes again. Through the fulfillment of the 18th primal vow, Bodhisattva Dharmakara has become Amida Tathagata, and the benefit that surpasses conceptual understanding has come to transcend all bounds. To express this, Bodhisattva Vasubandhu uses the words, the Tathagata of unhindered light, filling the 10 quarters. Truly know, therefore, that without any differentiation between good and bad people, and regardless of one's having a heart of blind passion, all beings are certain to attain birth. We are assured, as we are, of the resolution of the difficulties we cause and experience. That, again, is at the heart of the teachings of the Buddha. Buddhism is really very simple. It's really simple. How do we resolve these difficulties? We have a lot of practices and a lot of descriptions and all kinds of things, but it addresses this very fundamental question. How do we resolve the difficulties we cause and experience? And in Jodo Shinshu, we realize how difficult it is to do that. But we realize that as we are, we have already been assured of the resolution of difficulties through the work of the Buddha Amida. So as we live our lives with gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude that we too are eventually able to become Buddhas. Gratitude for all of the conditions and causes that make that possible. That the work of the Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who eventually becomes Amida Buddha, assures that eventual resolution of difficulties. As we participate in today's Eitaikyo service, we tend to focus on what we do so others may benefit. But we are also the beneficiaries of what others have done. That we are able to enjoy our gathering, coming together, hearing the teachings of the Buddha, sharing company with family and friends because of the work that others have done. We're grateful for that as we gather together for this Eitaikyo service. Grateful for the assurance of Amida Buddha that affirms us as we are of the resolution of difficulties, the central question of Buddhism, that we too, no matter who we are, no matter what our abilities or skills may be, we are affirmed and assured as we are of the resolution of difficulties. We live our life in gratitude for that assurance. And as we look around in the world around us, we may not be able to resolve all the questions, all the difficulties that surround us, but we are able to, in our own way, live a life of gratitude so that those around us, those who we come into contact with, might know and might appreciate what the teachings of the Buddha are about. Today, on this Eitaikyo service, again, an opportunity for us to hear the teachings of the Buddha, to gather together as family and friends, to share in this time, to enjoy one another's company, to be able to remember together the importance of the teachings of the Buddha. Thank you very much. Thank you to Reverend Bridge, to the members of the Oakland Buddhist Temple. I have so many stories. I'm thinking, thinking all of these stories that connect back to Oakland. And I'm forgetting names and faces, but I know that they are there in who I am as a part of the life that I'm able to enjoy, that the friends and of the Oakland Buddhist Temple are a part of that, and for that I am indeed truly grateful. Thank you very much, everyone. If you please join in Gassho and Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
thank you so much, Sakamoto Sensei, for your wonderful Dharma message. Ties together a lot of stuff I think we've been talking about here at Buddhist Church of Oakland, and so just really wonderful. I've wanted to get him to speak here for such a long time, and so finally getting that opportunity. So thank you so much. I'd like to now turn it over to Robert Noguchi for announcements. So give me just a second. This takes a long time. There.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone here today. Reverend Sakamoto, it's so good to see you. You know, I worked with him, you know, like over 20 years ago, and one thing about the Reverend Sakamoto, he still looks the same. I said, he looks the same, you know, God. That's great, Sensei. So it's really nice to have you here at Oakland today. So thank you very much for your message. Couple of announcements. Let's see. Next Saturday is our first study class of the year, and we're really excited about it. And I don't know if you saw the announcement in the email blast that came out. The topic is Buddha: who, what, where, why, and how. And I don't know how Sensei is going to get through all that in just 2 hours, but do you have something you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I just thought it'd be an interesting way to think about Buddha from various perspectives. So we're looking forward for that next Saturday. Huh? I'm thinking we'll do it down in the social hall.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's next Saturday from 1 to 3. And then on Sunday, the very next day, we'll have our Dharma family service at 10, followed by our Dharma chat, which we had in September and October. And that's a little more informal. And I think Sensei will probably be moving forward with the Buddha, continuing with the Buddha subject. So I hope that you'll join us for Saturday's study class at 1 and Sunday's Dharma chat following our Dharma family service at 10:45. Let's see. The following weekend is Thanksgiving, but we will have service on Sunday the 26th for those of you who are going to be in the area or can watch online, of course, or if your children or grandchildren are going to be in town for over the holiday, they're more than welcome to join us for service on the 26th. And then on Sunday the 3rd, December 3rd, it's the end of the year pretty soon, Bodhi Day service on the 3rd. And then, right after that, the Oakland Buddhist Women's Association is going to have their annual year-end party, otherwise called Bonen Kai, and that'll be on Sunday the 3rd, following the Bodhi Day service in the social hall. And letters basically gone out to members already. Lunch for members is $10, and if you bring a guest, it's $15. And OBWA hopes you will save the date and join us for this festive occasion. We'll appreciate a response for the letter that was sent. Send it to Judy Kano and Patty Hisoka by Friday, November 24th. So that's Thanksgiving, basically. So the OBWA would like to have you come for their Bonen Kai on the 3rd. And then the following week is December 10th, and that'll be the Mochitsuki, of course. And if you're able to help, come and give us a hand. We can use your help. Please see John Takagaki or contact the office, actually, and they can sign you up to help out at the Mochitsuki on December 10th, okay? That's all I have. Thank you so much. It's really good to see you. Hope you all stay for lunch. And right now, I'd like to turn it over to our past president, because our president is not in town this weekend, Norman Yoshida, who has words of appreciation. Norman?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Robert. One other thing, OBWA is also having a gift shop at the Mochizuki also, so that like they did last year. So if you come a little bit early, they're going to do drive-up pickup, but you could also, stop, park, and go to the craft fair for OBWA. Anyways, for the Buddhist Church of Oakland, I'd like to thank Reverend Bridge for officiating today's service. I'd like to thank Reverend Endo and Reverend Yamamoka for assisting today. Thank you. I'd like to thank our special guests, Reverend Sakamoto, and for his insights and for his Dharma Talk. I'd like to to thank another ex-president, Steve Terasaki, who always plays the organ and beautiful music. I'd like to thank, I'm not supposed to say it, but the Reverend's wife, we all know, who helped with the flowers. And I'd also like to thank, especially like to thank host group 4 and 8 for this morning's reception and for the Otoki lunch today. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending today. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Norman and Robert. Today was actually really special because in addition to our guest speaker, Reverend Sakamoto, we also had Reverend Yamaoka joining us up here in the Naijin. So I thought the chanting was really powerful and really enjoyed that. This will conclude our Eitaikyo Perpetual Memorial Service. We will be having the Otoki downstairs, and I think that Sakamoto Sensei can stick around for a little while. He has to get going on the earlier side, but please say hi and special opportunity. And actually, I'd like to get him back here. Doesn't have to be as a guest speaker, but maybe I should interview you, for a podcast or something, just talking about Oakland history, Buddhist Church of Oakland history, because that's, I consider myself fortunate to have been here, 1999, 2000, and even that time, we've lost so many people. So you knew people that are part of our history, and so I think that would be nice to try and do. Thank you, everyone. Let's conclude our Eitaikyo service with Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Oh, and before we leave, let's sing Ondok-san 2. Can we just start from the beginning? The whole service? For the sake of the people online? No, we're not going to do that. But let's sing Ondok-san 2. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Okay, thank you. You can come up and offer incense if you haven't already, and then let's go downstairs and have lunch. Thank you.